start the show. And yeah, here we go. Senor
Stop,
Ferryman over there.
stop recording. My nose is killing.
Yeah, so after a quick tea break by Mr. Ferryman on
Not a
the
tea
other
break.
side.
Good evening, good afternoon, good morning, and whatever, wherever you are in this round thing.
Yeah,
Hello,
and
Roland.
the police is going crazy outside. Police rescue and anything. It's not got nothing to do with your tea, I hope. So let's
Please.
just literally start with this
Ah,
one actually. So can you see me?
I can see you, and I can also see the Alien War 28mm UAMC hard suits.
Yeah.
Yeah, from
And
Defiance
for
Games.
all the people that don't know what's going on, Defiance Games was an American, yeah, miniature caster outfit run by Tony Reidy, who got into some issues. I don't want to go into too much details. So 2 weeks ago or so, news flash from another, yeah, miniature producer that we know,
Hmm.
that is Wargames Atlantic. And
Yeah.
apparently the CEO of Wargames Atlantic is Tony
Dun dun
Reedy.
dun.
Yeah, drum roll. Um, Now the whole story is a bit, for the uninitiated, a little bit confusing. So essentially, what happened is Defiance Games went under right after they were not able to fulfill the Kickstarter, and everybody was blaming the person in question, Tony Reedy, and he's clarifying a few issues. So please do go to the Wargames Atlantic news blog and have a read of the Defiance Games I am Tony Reedy reveal. Now, my take on it, as I have had several interchanges with Tony before his Kickstarter more than 10 years ago, and I have lived in the country in question that Tony is pointing at for a large, if not all, the blame on the matter. Um, I am inclined actually to believe him, most, if not all, of his version of what was going on, what happened behind the scenes. And that being said, whether you believe that or not, I don't think there's any legal obligation for Tony right now, 10 years later, to provide people or even offer people a refund on this Kickstarter. I mean, we're talking about 46 large. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
nothing you have in your back pocket, even as an organization, especially right now in the current economy. But he is offering people refund for the Defiance Game Kickstarter, either 100% cash refund or 150% of your pledge in vouchers for Wargames Atlantic goodies. Um, yeah, so like I said, I don't think legally he's under any obligation to do that. That is something. And also the way that, well, first of all, the fact that he does it, and secondly, how he does it, and what he says. Well, I feel obliged to do that towards the end of his open letter. So I did email Tony in the aftermath, and he emailed me back 2 days later. And surprise, surprise, yeah, he still remembers the guy. Oh yeah, the German guy from Edinburgh. So that speaks for him. And so from what I see, hear, and read, most of the comments have been positive in terms of Tony coming forward and regarding his offer. Mark, your
Yeah.
thoughts on that?
Yeah, he's trying to make amends. I spoke to several people in the industry who've commented on this and been in touch with Tony. And there's a couple of friends from the industry who's actually been in touch with me. He's actually willing to fund it out of his own pocket. You know, not many people will do that at all. I've been stung on Kickstarters many times, couple of them for a lot of money. I'm talking £800-900 over two Kickstarters that I won't see a penny of it ever again. But what Tony's doing is actually, good on you. You're trying to make amends. Your company is now doing really, really well. Wargames Atlantic's doing brilliant. Wargames Atlantic and Archon Studios are very, very, very close to Games Workshop at the moment. They're snapping at the heels of Games Workshop in the quality of the stuff they do and the amount of stuff that they do. And the fact that they're not just sticking to one set thing, whereas Games Workshop, oh, we're going to do Orcs, and we're going to do Space Marines, and we're going to do some more Space Marines, or we'll do 40k 11th edition, and we'll put some more Space Marines in it, because we don't sell Space Marines very much. Hang on, if I buy a Space Marine, do I get a Space Marine with a Space Marine? You know, it's just all crap. It's literally crap. But I think what Tony's doing is really, really a good thing. And I'm just sorry that the actual Kickstarter missed out because these things are so much like SF3D, which or Machine of Kragan.
I'm not sure. I'm not sure if I am revealing something that I shouldn't be revealing.
Well, don't then. Okay,
Well, yes, of course I will. No,
don't.
so from the bits and bobs you find online is
Yeah,
that the suits are in production somewhere actually, so Tony can't do them.
yeah,
But for anyone who has any former Defiance Games miniatures, he is very interested. So what he's saying is to re-release all the Defiance Games sets,
yeah,
and one of the first ones would be the second edition of the German Panzer Grenadiers, which I have seen the greens. A couple of
yeah,
people have seen the greens, and I have seen some finished miniatures that they were trying to do around the time of the Kickstarter, and obviously because of the Kickstarter fiasco, nothing ever came of that. So as you are rightfully saying, the quality even at Defiance Games has gone better all the time. So I mean the first kits were hit and miss, pretty much like when Mantic started with
yeah,
one literal range, and that was the elves.
yeah.
And yeah, so sorry for interrupting, but to you.
No, but yeah, I totally agree. Um, if these came out, these were brilliant because there's a thing that came out from Japan, um, God, 2001, 2002, um, called I think it's Machine of Kragan. So it's basically like an alternate World War II that uses really stylized mechs, much in the form of Conflict 47, which we'll get onto in a minute, and Dust Tactics and Weird War 2 and things like that. And these kits are actually very, very popular. They've got their own niche in Japan. I was watching a thing at World Fest a couple of days ago on YouTube,
Isn't there a
and
manga about this as well?
yeah, there's manga about it. There's a live action movie bit rumored to be coming out. There's novels. There's LPs with soundtrack music and stuff on them. But there's a massive range of kits, and they're all like a super. Uh, Basically, if you had like 1970s ethics on 1940s military vehicles in Germany, so very much like Dust, and they're very, very similar to Dust. But this stuff is now getting very, very popular. These things would be absolutely amazing for that because this just looks like one of the old SF3D model kits from Nito from
There's
2000.
another kit that I would really like to see in Conflict 47, and If you and or our or the audience remembers 8043,
Yes, certainly. Yeah.
and there was one, it
Rack
was
of
a
games.
limited release towards the end of life. The Death Dealers,
Yeah.
the guys
Yeah.
that had two miniguns left and right on their uh, egg, so to speak. And for some time, they were really cheap on eBay. And if you are really lucky enough to get them, be prepared that it's three digits.
Yeah, yeah. I
So,
sold all the 8043 stuff off. Once the price started going up, I just sold it all off
yeah.
because nobody was playing it, which is a shame because it's a really, really good. The system itself was pretty meh, but the miniatures were amazing,
The
and they were all
miniatures, the material was
pre-painted.
great. The painting was shite.
Yeah, I just pre-painted everything. Okay, what you got next? Ah, I see what you got
Well,
next.
I would say let's continue with that. So
Yeah.
the next thing is some really great news for all the Magister Militum fans. So Magister Militum went out of business at some point last year. And essentially what they did, it was a hobby business of two people, had some really great ranges, both made by them or created by them, as well as the only reseller of 1 to 6,000, I think it's former GHQ naval
Yeah,
ships.
yeah,
So they are still available in the States. They are still being cast in the States, but obviously it is horrendously expensive just to order some ships and have them sent over. I mean, I tried that. The owner, the lady is really, really nice. So we tried sending that, but the US Postal Service was not very fond of our attempt to not pay $30 in shipping for a few ships. So yeah, that is it. So they are taking over a 28 millimeter range, and that is the 28 millimeter Navigator miniatures and standard games.
cool.
650 molds. And
Yeah, I saw the
yeah,
picture of Martin in the
this
back of the
is
van.
Mr. Warbase's loading the
Yeah,
van. So yeah, that is
that's a
essentially what they have been doing.
that's a lot of very, very heavy molds.
Yep. Very nice.
Yeah, well, congratulations to Martin and Liam and everybody at Warbases.
Yep. So amazing.
Yeah.
And yeah, next thing is these guys.
Ah, yes. Now,
StarCraft tabletop.
I've got something to say about this.
Me too.
You go
Let's
first.
just quickly go through it.
Yeah,
And here is a video.
yeah, yeah. So, just for those who don't know, this is Essen this weekend. This is Spiel, Spiel de Jura Essen. So, the miniatures look amazing. They look absolutely fantastic. The only thing I have is this picture we've got up now, with which you had up then with Zeratu.
Yeah,
Um, it's a really nice model, but I ain't paying £27.50 for one single figure because they've got it on the website at the moment. If you go to Essen, you can pick it up for free, or you could pick it up for free because Essen's finished now. It was Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Um, but it's £27.50, and then you've got your shipping on top of that. So it's not cheap, but the models look really, really nice. I mean, the model stood on top of a Zergling. Looks good. I'm uh, I'm in two minds whether to back that when it comes out. I really do want to back it, but um, it, I don't know what faction I'd go for, and I want to see if what the Goliath looks like before I decide because the Goliath is awesome.
I have to look. I have to say, not another miniature game on that one.
Not
So
another miniature game.
And yes, it is Archon slash Protoss games.
Mhm.
So some people may have some view on that.
Yeah.
And I have to say, I never got into this whole StarCraft thing. I do like the designs, no doubt.
Mhm.
But first of all, like I said, not another miniatures game for me. And then it's also a question when you look at, and I think that's a good transition to my last topic for today. When you look at the prices these days,
Yeah.
then it is the question, what are you playing, and to what ends are you actually in the hobby? I have to say for myself, I am not in the hobby to finance any corporation, whether that is large or small. I am there to have some fun.
Yes, of course you
And
are.
how much fun I can get does not depend on how much or how useful a certain tool is in a certain game. So, for example, let's just say as an example, I get a box of these Marines, yeah, for 20 quid, or one of those big boys for 27. Then I'm going for the box with the five guys.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So,
Understandable.
if you are into StarCraft, I mean, why not? Yeah.
Yeah, well, it's a massive selling IP. There's a StarCraft movie been in the works for ages. There's a StarCraft TV show in the works. Um, I think it might be animated, I'm not sure, but Amazon announced that they were going to do a StarCraft TV show a few months ago. But then again, Amazon are just buying up IPs left, right, and center. I mean, it's 40K and what's the other one that they've got coming out? They've got a Fallout, and there's another one that's coming out as well, which I can't remember what it is. But they've got the Lord of the Rings, obviously. Lots and lots of money to be made there. Right, so we'd like me to show you some toys.
Well, let's just very quickly, and then we can put this forward to you, and you can show me some toys. And as some of you may already know, that the 3D designer Ghamak is being sued by Games Workshop. So when you read this whole thing on Reddit, it actually looks that he is actually forcing the lawsuit. And very brief summary is that, well, Games Workshop doesn't like that people are using all sorts of miniatures for their game or for gaming per se. They are not really clear about that. And when you look through this description, is that it looks to me, just as an observer, is that Games Workshop is writing letters to people, please give us money and your business secrets because people are buying your stuff and not ours.
Yeah,
And I'm
I know what you
like,
mean.
no.
Yeah,
You want that, you go through the proper channels. And
yeah.
it also, well, they seem to have learned from the Chapter House Studios disaster. They are not
No,
suing
they
Ghamak
haven't.
for
No, they haven't.
IP
They've not learned at
infringement.
all. The only thing they've learned is change names of things. So instead of it being
Yeah,
Imperial Guard, it's Astra
I
Militarum.
should I
That's
should
the only
say
thing they've
learned.
learned,
I should say
because
learned. So they are no
they can't
longer suing
re
for
they don't
IP.
really learn. They just bully. They do bully boy tactics. And as far as I know, I'm still reaching out to people to find out about this. Ghamak issue is finished. It's done and dusted. It's all been settled because there's nothing on Ghamak's Facebook and there's nothing on um,
Patreon.
his website. I can't find anything, and I'm not on the forum anymore. So the Patreon anymore, so I can't even ask that way. And I hope he has settled with them. But two things spring to mind, and they're both important. Number one, Games Workshop were in the wrong because they tried to go after somebody's livelihood. They went about it the wrong way completely. That's what they were in the wrong for. They were in the right in one way, but they're in the wrong in the other. And the other one, Ghamak was in the wrong because he came so close to infringing IP by almost direct copying things. And if you
I
look
want to
on his stuff, a lot of it is just
hence my
almost
Chapter
direct
House
copies.
Studios comment. So
Yes,
now it is a legal precedent how different you need to design your miniatures.
yeah,
And that was,
68%.
I mean, immediately on the German forum, the fanboys really like calling for a crusade against Ghamak, yeah, and he is infringing copyright. No, he's not being sued for that.
No,
Learn to read, please.
yeah.
Yeah,
But
and
the thing that is with this, sorry to interrupt you, Roland, but the thing that's this is very important is if Games Workshop do successfully sue Ghamak,
yeah,
and bear in mind, Ghamak is just a guy
one
over
guy.
in Italy, one guy with, I think it's like 14 other sculptors who work with him, something like that, maybe even four sculptors who work with him, and he's not sitting down and letting this, you know, take over. And basically, if Games Workshop do get away with this, that's the wargaming industry
Yeah, that is that is that
serious,
is
serious
that is my
chance.
first point. My second point is not about Chapter House Studios, but
No.
they sued or tried to sue an author that wrote a
Yep.
book, Spots the Space Marine. It's
Yep.
also more than 10 years ago, and they were really rolling out the big guns
Yeah.
until the American Authors Guild, who is representing that author, said, well, if you want to argue the term Space Marines, we
Just
own
speak
that
to her
since
about helium.
1918. So, do you
Yeah.
really want to go to court with us?
And if you want to go that way, because Games Workshop,
Games Workshop dropped the lawsuit.
yeah, of course they did, because they would have been sued by the Highland Foundation. I can't pronounce it. Robert A. Hylian, who wrote Starship Troopers and Stars My Destination. If his estate sued Games Workshop, and they've got much deeper pockets than Games Workshop at the time, they
The
could have
American
very,
Authors
very
Guild
easily done
does
it.
so as well. So, and
Yeah.
look, the point is exactly like you're saying. How on earth does one organization, whether it is Games Workshop or who else, think that they own a whole bloody hobby? And
Well,
look, they already shot themselves in the foot with the Chapter House Studio things, and it is really like I said 10 years ago on the German forum, if that is a win for you, then we're gonna discuss this when the next person sells something that looks exactly 90% or whatever it was, like Games Workshop, and Games Workshop can do nothing at all.
bless
And
them.
look, 10 years later, here we are. Yeah, there
Yeah.
is hundreds, if not thousands, of 3D designers
Yeah.
that do stuff. And yes, arguably, they wouldn't probably not exist if 40K was not that popular. The problem for Games Workshop is they don't produce stuff that people like for the prices that they are calling out on it.
Yeah.
So that's the whole problem. And
It's
I also
cheaper to
said
buy
on the
yourself.
German
It's
forum,
cheaper to go out and buy yourself a 3D printer,
the gun.
a
Yeah,
wash station, and 10 bottles of resin than to buy an army. And
yeah.
with all that, you could probably print as many armies as you want,
So look,
for a lot less. And it's another hobby as well in
I
itself.
said on the forum in context of this, uh, yes, Games Workshop will get into 3D printing, but they will sell a 3D printer that only works with original Games Workshop resin, only with original Games Workshop file format files,
Yeah, it's easy enough to do.
and
It's easy enough to do.
I mean,
Instead of being an
really,
STL file, they just put them in something else.
it is you are in the creative industry and you are trying to control the creative industry per se, not only the bloody niche that you are in, but everybody else. And
Yes.
I think I said it with Chapter House Studios. It is really the last rope when you are starting to act like this. I mean, there was a rumor that Games Workshop HQ didn't even know that their lawyers were suing that author with the Space Marine stuff, and then told their lawyers, "Do you know what happens if we can't sell bloody Space Marines in the States?"
Yeah.
So
Well,
uh,
it wasn't Games Workshop Nottingham. It was Games Workshop in the US that was the lawyers in the US. And they're getting if you read through the actual legal documents, they're actually getting Ghamak under an article I think it's Star or something like that. It's called that because
Unfair
they
competition.
they see him as an unfair competition. He's one guy, or a couple of guys making these in their own home or in a small studio somewhere and selling them on the internet. So they're an unfair competition to someone who's got over 150 retail outlets across the world, probably a lot more than that now.
Oh,
Um,
way more, way more.
yeah,
We
or
are
they're in a
talking
box that they
about
had 200 in the UK and they got
120
rid of a lot of them.
million a year
Yeah,
revenue organization
yeah, because of
that
course it's unfair.
says, that
Unfair.
says
It's a little bit
some,
like a certain orange gentleman who claims it's unfair that he didn't win a prize for peace, which is just like Jeffrey Dahmer not winning a prize for culinary desserts or something like that.
oh,
You know,
come on.
it's very
I mean,
bad.
we are bringing out the heavy stuff right now, but I mean, let's just say yes, yes, this is all just an assumption. No, no Games Workshop fanboys, this is not the reality right now. But let's just say this was right, and any judge would decide, yeah, this is unfair competition. Then what are we having? 120 million a year sales organization is going after one guy on the internet because it's unfair that essentially you are saying this guy is better than us.
Yeah,
Yeah. I
yeah, and
mean,
he is.
hello.
Hello, yeah. But the
So,
thing is, you've got to bear in mind, like you buy a model from Games Workshop, and you've got your model, and it's sitting there in front of you in the box, and it's nice and shiny, and it's nice and expensive, and then you open the box and go, "Oh, great! I've got my model. Can't wait to play with this." And then you've got to build it, and it's going to take you an hour to 2 hours, maybe 3 hours to build the model kit.
not
Then you've
not
got to
not the
paint it.
point.
Whereas if it's a 3D printed thing, if you've printed it yourself or you've bought it from a third party who's printed it for you, it's there in front of your hand. It's ready made. You may have to glue parts together.
There's another thing. There's another thing that very few people are talking about. How many miniatures of Games Workshop are now out of print? How many
Uh,
codex entries are obsolete essentially when the next edition comes out or when the next codex comes out?
yeah,
Yeah.
well, if you actually cast
And
your mind back to January this year, Games Workshop did actually cancel quite a lot of armies just after New Year, and people who spent lots and lots of their own money, hundreds of pounds and hundreds of dollars of their own money on these products, ended up with lumps of plastic and metal that they can't do bugger all with unless they play an old game. Because if you go, you can't go to the shops with them, and you can't play in tournaments with them because they weren't legal. They
yeah,
should go and take a leaf out of other people's books, and instead of actually going like, oh well, we're the big boys and you're snapping at our heels. Well, we're not having that. We want you to back off because we're top dog. You all can go into the kennel. We're top dog. But my words, if Games Workshop do successfully sue this guy, sue Ghamak, and I hope to God that it all gets settled and it doesn't happen, especially for him. If they do sue him, it will be the death knell of this hobby because they will go after absolutely everybody, and they are they're basically saying that it's my way or the highway, and I think it would be the highway. I just cut ties with Games Workshop completely. No more paints, no more brushes ever again. They're not getting my money with miniatures anyway. No more paints, no more brushes. I wouldn't buy anything from Games Workshop again if that happened because
can I just say I think the whole problem started around the year 2008 when Kirby became chairman of the board again. So or
could
when
be.
he basically took over. So
It could be.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay,
I mean,
right. Are we ready to move on to something?
I think we gonna move on after a little break. So
We'll have a little break and then we'll come back
I'm
and then we'll
stopping the
move on.
sharing. So a little
Yeah.
tea break, and then we go back.
Well, okay. Really quick. It's like not tea. Looks more like a urine sample from someone who's not very well. It's iced tea.
Oh, it's a tenants. So
Well, it's
um,
iced tea.
yeah, but I was just saying okie dokie, and big news, new version for Fallout 76. That is something
Yeah.
interesting for you. And Fallout TV series season 2, 17th of December.
December. Yeah,
So,
yeah,
but now,
yeah.
Mr.
It looks
Faramir.
very good. And there's loads and loads. I mean, yesterday was Fallout. Sorry, the 23rd was Fallout Day. Um, because that's the day the bombs drop in the game. So the 23rd of October is like Fallout Day. And they announced lots and lots of stuff. They announced loads of new action figures from McFarlane Toys and a couple of other companies announced new stuff. Mordifius Entertainment announced new stuff as well over here for the role-playing game and for the miniatures games. Right, anyway, we'll talk about Fallout in a later time. So what we're going to do now is, if you just bear with me a second, I'm just going to close the page down. There we go. Right, and I'm going to show. Right. Okie dokie, can you see my screen?
I can, yes.
Yes, right. Okay, first things first. Kings of War, fourth edition. Um, it was hinted at about 3 months ago, 4 months ago, that Mantic were doing a fourth edition of Kings of War. I think this is two years. It might be 3 years since the last edition of Kings of War. The red bound the book. I think it was 2022, 2023. And it's about this time.
Somewhere around that, yes.
Yeah, that was the third edition. Fourth edition has now been announced with Claws in the Stand, which is a two-player starter set. It's on pre-order at the moment on the Mantic website and features an all two races. You've got the Zerkille, which are a race of gnolls. So basically, your D&D gnolls, but these are D&D gnolls on acid. These guys are like huge. They are very, very big, and they're very scary.
I need to correct you. Third edition came out 2019.
2019, that
Yep,
long ago.
I had to Google it. I had
All
to
right.
Google it. I
Oh
didn't
well.
know.
Please
I
forgive my
thought it was
ignorance.
21.
I thought it was 2022
Yeah, no,
because
we are not Games Workshop. We don't do a new edition every other year.
we don't do a new edition when we can't think of anything else to do.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so you've got your two fantasy races in the game. You've got your Zakali, which are your gnolls. They are very, very, very journey to the journey to the west inspired. Much like the Cathians for from Games Workshop. Only I would say that these sculpts are actually much nicer in some senses. And the other range of models in the core set, the starter set, is the Trident. Is it Trident Kings they're called? Trident Realm.
Trident Realm,
That's
yeah.
the yeah, that's the other thing. So we got a quick video here. Just have a quick look at it. I'm going to mute it, but you can have a quick look.
Zerkali.
That's how you pronounce the name. This is a Carly. As you can see, that they are gnolls. They're very tall. They're much beefier than your average orc. They're about the same height as an ogre in Kings of War. The models look phenomenal. They're some of the best sculpts that Mantic have ever done, and they look really, really good. As you can see here, this is only a small portion of what they're doing. They've got human henchmen, they've got guys riding lions, they've got a dragon, they've got a monkey king, they've got all sorts of stuff, and they loot the business. And come January, they're going to be mine. Come January. I did say that I wasn't going to start another army for a long while, but well, it'd be rude not to, really, wouldn't it? Okay, so that's a quick look at the Zakali. We'll close that. And here we have a couple of images from the preview. So you've got the Kings of War second edition, second edition, fourth edition starter set, Claws in the Sand. That's the cover, and that's the content. So you get your dice, your command dice, your two factions, enough to play. I think it's an 800 to 1,000 point battle. I'm not exactly sure of the point value. Your rule book, which is not the full rule book, it's a thinner down rule book because your full rule book is going to be about £30, plus your assembly instructions and all that stuff. Um, that's your Knoll character from the Zicali Knoll champion, really well painted. Then you've got some of the dog boys. These are just the ones that are in the set. The human auxiliaries that go with them. They're very much Ashigaru inspired. I do actually think though what they've done on them is paint jobs are really nice, but I don't like the eyes. The eyes make them look like they come out of a manga. But I suppose they could do with that, really, couldn't they? And then you've got the lizard men and aquatic creatures from um, the Trident realms, and these big bloaty boys here. They're quite nice. Okay, so that's just a quick uh, thing about uh, these dudes. Going back to Mantic again, couple of other things we've got on the go at a moment with Mantic is Epic Warpath, which is the battle for Privox, which is the retail the Kickstarter copies have got to most of the backers by now. If they haven't, I don't know why they haven't got them, but most people who've Kickstarters seem to have them, and lots of people are posting that they received the pledges. They've gone through My Mini Factory and they're now doing the campaign as a tribe, or not a tribe, sorry, a frontier on My Mini Factory, which gives you more or less the same things that you got in the Kickstarter. So you've got your epic command and control immense forces of infantry and armor across galactic zones of the future. And so you got your enforcers, you got your plague, Forge Fathers, Asturians, and then you've got like super heavies for each of them and modular terrain. The terrain is amazing, but it's not cheap. And then you've got the rule books in various languages, including your language.
Das ist gut.
Das ist gut, ja. Das ist verboten.
Well, Games
Um,
Workshop says das ist verboten, but
yeah. And then, yeah, you download the rules, build your army, print and play. The game seems very, very simple. I am waiting and waiting and waiting for my order to be fulfilled by Mantic, which I've been waiting now since the 19th of September, which is quite a while. Because your copy is in there, your Christmas present is in there, as well as mine, and I can't do any demos of Warpath because I don't have the stuff to do the demos with. So hopefully it should be this week. You can get what's this? Private rewards. So you're over 38 STLs, right? And the rule look for $19. So you get two armies, and $19 for that, and then $66, which gives you the two full core armies. So you can basically get into the game for $19, and then all in gives you all the armies like the Asturians, the Forge Fathers, the Plague. You don't get again the gallery with all the stuff on it. Some of these things like this big Enforcer's ship. Where is it?
yeah, the
Where is
super heavies are
super heavies like the Victor tank, really, really nice. There's the super heavy, very, very nice. Look at the tiers. So you've got an all-in reward, which is $125, which gives you everything. You got it wasn't £19. Oh, the Battle for $5, there is £19 or $19, sorry. That gives you the rules and a plague and an enforcer army, which are the two armies that you get in the core set. And then you can buy the add-ons for it as well. So Forge Fathers, Enforcers, Asturians, Plague, City Terrain, more rules. There is more stuff coming out. We've got Vermin, Then there's a
Marauder.
Mastodon, Matsutodon, sorry, which you do actually get in the Asterians as well. Because if you look at the Asterian pack, they do have some of the Matsutodon in there somewhere. Um, there's Vermin. Um, oh, what's the one? Maison
Aura.
Labs, um, Orcs, Marauders. They've all got their own tiers. They're all coming out as well.
Yep.
So that's new from Mantic.
We.
There's another couple of things that are coming out over the next few weeks. Feet First into Hell, the new expansion for Halo, is due out now. It's actually due out before the end of the month because they said October, and we've only got what 5 days left until 6 days left. Sorry, until it's time to actually get into November. So we'll see how we go with that. But that brings you the ODST. And then they've just released the new campaign organized play sets. I did a post on Gamers Web earlier in the week about those. They were launched on Wednesday or Thursday this week. And they give you all the ways to play organized play plus 4 resin miniatures that you can only get in that pack. Right. Okay. Moving on. Okay, let's get to the top of this. Right. This came into my inbox about 2 hours ago from Nick at North Star Military Figures. Um, Warriors of Athena. We haven't officially announced this yet, but we'll be making new miniatures for Joseph McCullough's new game from Osprey. Warriors of Athena is set to be launched in February. We probably won't say too much about it this year, but we're working on it now. Okay, so Warriors of Athena, right, comes in a couple of different varieties. You've got Heroes, which is solo and co-op, and you can play competitively as well, solo and co-op. And it features your classic Greek
Mythology.
legends and myths. So you've got people like Heracles and Odysseus and Jason and all the going up against other Greeks and Spartans and Romans and things like that, as well as going up against the Harpies and the Cyclops and Riff of the Gods and things like that. The miniatures look amazing. Can't really wait to see these. This gives me so much Jason and the Argonauts vibes. There's a guy there about to slaughter a goat, which is amazing. That is so cool. I mean, it's not cool slaughtering goats, but I actually like it. And if you actually look at the guy, he looks like Freddie Mercury. He might actually be slaughtering a goat. That might be a microphone because he looks like Freddie Mercury. And then again, more of the Minotaur with the Spartan style armor on. Then we've got Quest, which is going to be one of the first expansions for it. Again, this is coming out in
Feb-
mid to early 2026, and that's the cover of what the game's going to look like. Now, for those who don't know, Joe McCullough is a guy with a computer in his head. He doesn't sleep. He just plugs directly into a laptop, and his thoughts go straight onto the laptop and then get printed out by Osprey. Because this guy really, really works hard. He's done Stargrave, Frostgrave, uh, what's the other one? Silver Bayonet, and there's dozens of items coming out from every month. There's always something coming out for one of those 3 games, plus loads of other stuff that he's worked on. So that's from Nostar Military Figures. That only came into my inbox a couple of hours ago. Moving on very quickly because we've only got a few more topics to cover here. Okay, so
Ah, yeah.
introducing Vallejo True Metallic Metals. No, Angel Graldo and Juan, is it Juan Diego? Two miniature painters, both work in conjunction with Vallejo over in España. They've both been showcasing these models on these minis on their website, on their Facebook pages and YouTube in videos because they've both worked with them. They've both got signature stuff for Vallejo anyway, but um, these are true metallic paints. Um, you will be painting using these in a trifecta. So you'll have a base shade, you'll have a base, a shade, and a highlight. And then the next one along will be a wash. So you'll have four of these in one pack. One of them is actually the base in an airbrush format. So you'll get the wash and the highlight and the shades like radiant yellow and imperial gold, and they'll give you 80 paints in total, which is I think it's 20 lots of four, and they come in. You can get them in packs of four, or you can buy them as a full pack of 80 paints with two paintbrushes and two two miniatures. So like here we've got ruby red, and it tells you how to apply it, and they do look very, very good. Now the full colours, here we've got the full colour chart, if it ever downloads. Right, hold on, it's just downloading. We'll just go back to this page whilst it's downloading. Right, so we've got the full colour chart from them, and because they're in a trifecta, you've got your shade and your highlight. You can do everything, and they are so simple to use. Right, it's loading away because I've got a very slow laptop. So these are all your different colors. There is a white, there is a black, there is a very pretty lady there with a shield. No, I'm not going to try Adobe Pro, thank you very much. I don't normally use Adobe, I use PDX instead. So as you can see, three purples, three blues, including like an ultramarine blue. And one of the things that Angel did, not Angel, One did, he painted a Space Marine figure as an ultramarine using the ultramarine colours, and it looked as good as Games Workshop. Really, really good. Now, here's the part that kind of hurts. If you buy them separately, you buy the paints in the packs, the pack of four, it's £18 for four paints, which is not too bad. It's like 465, 470 a
450
paint.
roundabout, yeah.
Yeah. So between 460 and 470, depending on where you are. And it's between €18 and £18. If you want to buy all 80 paints that come in the lovely big box with the clamshell lid and the paint brushes and stuff, it's €380. Which, I was really tempted. I thought, nah, that's like 3 months, 4 months, even maybe even 5 months hobby in one thing. I can't do that. But I will be getting hold of some of these because they do it's like yellows, golds, blacks, whites, blues, greens, purples, turquoises,
They
lots and
are. I have looked at that suitcase style,
yeah,
and yes, it is really nice, especially if you are looking at. Okay, I am a Vallejo painter. I'm getting the
yeah,
Vallejos. So it is essentially what I did when I came back to the UK and
yeah,
bought that big army painter thing. But that was like I think I got it for 200 quid.
yeah,
And yeah, it is like you said, a huge investment that you are tying up in the paints. And how many paints are you using
yeah.
concurrently?
And also the
So
fact that you've got, as I said, the range is split into three. So you've got your base, your highlight, and a shade, but you've also got an airbrush paint in that pack. So if you don't have an airbrush or you don't use an airbrush, that's a paint that you're buying and you're never going to use. And if you buy them synced individually, it's a different matter. But the shades are all designed to work with that particular color. So you will have a red shade with the red hues and a blue shade with the blue hues and stuff like that. Worth getting hold of. Will be looking into them in the new year. They're available. They're not. I don't know if they're actually available to buy. No.
they are on Angel's website. Yes.
Yeah.
I don't know if they are available to order from Vallejo yet, and
No, they're not. They're
if
not
they are
available from
available
Vallejo.
for retailers. So
Yeah. So anyway, moving swiftly along. Conflict 47.
Yeah.
It's been very, very big. It's been extremely big to be honest. I've spent far too much money on Conflict 47 and I've still got stuff coming. So it's one of those things. The new edition of Conflict 47 is really, really good. I've got my hardback copy here, which my review is going to be done tomorrow because I've got some time to do it tomorrow. Um, and I've got three other reviews for Conflict 47 that I'm going to do. We've got a couple of pre-orders up. We've got this one, which is a very good way to get into the game if you've not played the game before. You get a cut-down version of the rules, which simplify the game. You get your command dice, your order dice, and your rift dice. And you get one of the sprues of the terrain and two sprues of Stahltruppen and two sprues of
Ist gut.
the Fireflies for 42 quid. If you decide you want to play the game and you don't want to spend out loads of money, 42 quid between two of you, nothing. It's a pizza and a beer, or you know,
I have
it's not that
seen
expensive.
this discounted to as much as just over 30 quid.
Yeah, yeah.
So
Well,
it is a really
showing it.
great and quick way to get just to try a game. And
Yeah,
look, this is what I've been saying. A starter set that is more than 50 quid is no longer a starter set. It is
no,
it is a commitment.
yeah, yeah. I mean, the thing is with the starter set for Conflict itself, the full starter set, that's quite expensive, but you do get a lot of stuff in it. A hell of a lot of stuff. So this is on pre-order now. They're shipping at the beginning of November. I'm not exactly sure when, but I think it's like 1st of November they ship. Then we've got the three big ones. We've got the Soviet bloc. This is shipping in November as well. So you've got all these absolutely beautiful looking models from the Soviets. So you've got your guys who've got antifreeze for blood and have a chill aura around them that freezes people and makes it difficult for them to do things. Then we've got our Ursus infantry, who are Boers, who are a little bit mad, and they're also big models as well. And I'd like to see them go up against the Schreckwolfen. I think that would be an absolute awesome battle. And then we've got the same Boers, but this time they've got hammers. And then we've also got this absolutely beautiful Walker, which is really, really nice. And I'm looking forward to them coming out. And then we've got someone here with the Motherland banner.
You know, that
And
looks like Ron Perlman.
it does look like Ron Perlman, doesn't it? Especially looking in close up, yeah. So, yep, they look brilliant. And then we also get a tank with the sonic weapon on it. I like all the weathering on this. Kirsty's done an amazing job. She's such a good artist. And then, of course, it comes with decals, and it will also come with your rift dice. And I think you'll get how many? I can't even think how many is in there. Is it one, two, three, four, five? You'll get five rift dice with the Soviets plus your dice for each of the things. Then we've got the Empire of Japan starter set, which, as you can see here, one, two, three, four, five again. We've got these samurai-inspired models. Just trying to get them in focus so we can see them. They look very, very nice.
Yeah.
And then from the back, by the way, these guys can walk through terrain. They phase through things, which makes them really, really hard to kill. And they can also command the dead as well. They can, a bit like the Access, they can make the dead rise and control them. Especially these guys here in the special suits. They're a bit more like Ashigaru. I like the helmets. They're very, very cool. And again, they come with this leader who's like running forward, shouting "Banzai." He's very nice. And then they have a scorpion mech with a big gun in its tail. And then they've got their is it a Chow or a Chi tank? I'm not exactly sure what the tank is.
Chi Hao, Chi Go,
Chi
what?
Hao, Chi Dong, that's it, yeah. So with it's got like a big cannon on it that sends out sonic disruptions, I think it is, or something like that. And of course, you
Called
get
the
your decals.
compression cannon. Yeah.
Compression cannon, that's it, yeah. And then you get your decals and your command dice as well. Then finally,
Now that's the best,
we
finally.
have this one, which is looks amazing. British Commonwealth. Um, these look really, really good. So you've got your uh your commandos, you're in heavy armor, all with berets on. I think these would be really cool done as SAS. Yeah, they'd be very good
SAS
as
or
SAS.
Params, yes.
Yeah. Um, and the detail on the back, I mean, look at the detail on this. Just fantastic. And as again, Kirsty's done an amazing job. There's an interview on Wargames Illustrated on the YouTube site with Kirsty, and she talks about her going to work, painting all day, going home, painting all night. Aesthetic. This is the limited edition figure that comes with them. Um, it would have been better if behind his back he'd had a cup of tea. That would have been perfect. If he'd have had a cup of tea in his hand behind his back, that would have been fantastic.
Or a special rule that goes with tea.
Yeah, I'm going. I've lost where I'm up to now. And then, oh dear, where are we? Right. Oh, there we go. Right. So here's the Walker. This is quite a big, chunky boy. This is probably one of the biggest in the starter sets. It's bigger than the Zeus that's in the Axis starter set. As in height, it's not as wide as the Zeus, but it's quite big. I think it's on 110 mil base. It looks very nice. And then we have the automatons. These are the Mark IIs again, and those are the Mark Ones. And then finally, we have um, a. Is this a Saladin or a Ferret?
That is a Humber scout car.
A Humber Scout car with a Tesla weapon on the top of it as well. And of course, God bless Her Majesty. We've got the decals. So yeah. So let's have a look. Oh, my meeting will end in 10 minutes, apparently. It's a Galahad infantry, Percival medium assault walker, and a Humber Mark 7 armored car. Right, so that's it from the news. Um, apart from one thing that I really need to say, uh, we've just been on the Warlord website. I'd like to congratulate John and everybody at Warlord on 18 years. They're 18 years old now, which is very good. Yep. And also like to thank John and, of course, the late Paul for all the support they gave me with Gamers Web, especially in 2016, 2017, up to 2022, when they were constantly helping me out with my website. Good on you. Uh, future's bright, future's orange, as long as it's not that orange. Right, so we're going to stop recording in a second. It just remains for me to say, no matter where you are in the world, stay safe, look after yourself, and as I say all the time,
Get the friend into gaming.
yeah, actually, I was going to say that. Yeah. Introduce a friend to gaming, and you'll always have somebody to game with. Roll those dice high and have fun, folks. And we'll see you hopefully before Christmas.
Yeah, before Christmas, definitely there's a couple of things gonna on my pre-order list, and hopefully over the next couple of days, some really great news from Zep Games.
Yeah,
And yeah, I mean, definitely, if nothing goes wrong, as it usually does, we will see a 10 millimeter fantasy game from Sebastian,
yeah,
and maybe even a new set of capital light armored units clause for
sure.
Urban War in Zeocast.
Yeah.
So
You shouldn't be saying these
let's
things
keep
because they've
our
not happened
fingers
yet.
crossed for that.
I just
And
noticed something. My
what
hair's growing back and it's grey. When did my hair go grey?
well,
So I
you have
normally
the
have my head
choice
shaved.
of ginger or gray. So
I normally have my head shaved and I just noticed it's growing back grey. Anyway, on that note, thanks, folks. Hopefully see you soon. Look after yourselves.
see you soon. Have a good one. Bye.